Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for coming out to the Higher Road podcast today. Our guest is James Spencer, and he has created an amazing thing, a stuffed animal named SORI, or so they're calling it now, and it helps children with the autism epidemic that's going throughout all of America and throughout the world. And I wanted to know more about it personally because I have a nephew that has autism, and I don't know if anyone out there that doesn't know someone or someone's family member that has autism. So I want to dive in, learn more about it, and with that being said,
This is the device.
The stuffed animal
Yes.
for children with autism.
Within the autism spectrum, every kid is different. They have a lot of different struggles, different sensory disorders. There is no one-size-fits-all problem or even solution with these kids. At the end of the month, we went back to pick it up, and the mom was like, "You're not gonna take it, are you?"
James, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Hey, good, buddy. So tell me a little bit about your background and what made you want to create. Do you want to hold it up and show
Yes.
everybody?
So this is the device.
The stuffed animal
Yes.
for children with autism.
So how it started was about a year ago, last January. I started in something called the Crocker Innovation Fellowship at BYU. What this fellowship does is they put 6 students together from all different majors, so mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, a business student, a user design student, an entrepreneurship student, and then one wild card. The wild card on our team, he's in exercise science. So they put these students together and they give them a group of people to help solve a real problem. The group of people that we chose were parents of children with autism, because we have some of the members of our team have family members with autism, like you said. So after we got this group of people, we started interviewing as many parents, as many caretakers as we could find. And we found that one of the main struggles a lot of these children have in common is switching between tasks. It's that moment from doing one thing, moving on to the next thing. Because all children with autism are very different. They have a lot of different struggles, different sensory disorders. There is no one-size-fits-all problem or even solution with these kids. But far and away, the most common problem all these parents shared was getting their kids to switch.
So when you can you give me an example? So a child is doing this and they need to switch to that. Like, what would it?
Yes. So one of the kids that we've worked with, she has a really tough time getting out of bed in the morning. She just doesn't like that morning routine, and the morning is really tough for her. So getting her out of bed every day, getting her up and going and ready for school, for her mom was just a struggle. Like, it was a daily fight. It was a constant problem.
Much more than like a normal
Yes.
child that doesn't want to get.
So when a child with autism is working on something, they can get hyper-focused on it, right? So their perception of time is a little different from yours or mine. And so when they get hyper-focused on something, when there's a hard switch, now you have to do this next thing, that causes a lot of stress and anxiety for them. And that can lead to a tantrum, it can lead to a meltdown, it can throw the rest of the day out of whack. We've talked to parents where they have medical appointments, they get to the doctor's office, and the kid doesn't want to get out of the car because, we're driving, I'm in the car. We're not at one of my usual spots to get out of the car. Why are we here? And they'll miss a doctor's appointment.
Interesting. It sounds a lot like ADD in a lot of ways, what you're describing.
Yeah.
My boy has, at some level, definitely has ADD or ADHD. I think it's all the same now.
Yeah.
And it's really hard for him to go, when he focuses, he hyper-focuses. Legos, he's all in on something. But to go to the next thing, he can do it. There's no tantrums or anything. It's just he doesn't think about time. And it's very hard for him to manage it. but that's all was described. Everything we read was ADHD, and so is it very similar, autism and ADHD?
From what we've seen, there are some similarities. A lot of children with autism are also diagnosed with ADHD, but in one of the studies we found at the beginning of this whole process when we were doing research was that 80% of children diagnosed with autism struggle with these moments of transition.
Okay.
So our primary interviews, our primary research was backed up by this study that was done, I think it was in 2014, published in the National Library of Medicine, was that 80% of these children struggle with these task transitions. So when we found this big problem, from there we decided, okay, what's something we can make that would alleviate this stress? And we know a lot of these kids do really well with a timer. If you set even a 5-minute timer and tell them at the end of this 5 minutes, we're going to move on, their ability to switch between tasks increases immensely. That's a big word. Immensely.
There's a switch.
So it's called priming. So this is the technical term. It's called priming. There's been a lot of research done on this. When you give them staged reminders, so 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, then when it is time to finish up what they're doing and switch, it's a much higher chance of success of a switch between tasks, and they're able to do it a lot more independently than if there was just a cold switch. Okay. So we thought, what if we made a device that would give those priming cues without the parent needing to constantly manage it? So that's kind of how our idea came about, was what can we put this device in that kids will have with them to receive these priming cues. And so a lot of these kids will have a stuffed animal, will have a blanket, will have a toy with them, their comfort item. Mm-hmm. And so what if we make a smart comfort item that'll give them those cues? So from there,
almost like an emotional support animal.
Yeah. So they already have this with them. A lot of these kids already have something like a stuffed animal with them. So we just put the device that has the timer, the schedule, gives the reminders, gives the countdowns in the comfort item. And so the testing we've done, we've worked with over 20 kids, just testing our prototypes, getting their parents' feedback, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, and this is our current version. So, yeah, that's kind of how
this is SORI?
Yes, so this is, we're calling it SORI, it's short for sensory. The name might change. We're still only a year and a couple months in, but yeah.
So your background's in electrical engineering?
Yeah.
So you chose autism in your competition. Now, is this for high-functioning autistic children, or is it for, because extreme autism, I would imagine, would be more difficult?
Yeah, so we focus mainly on kids with level 1 and level 2 autism.
And it goes to level 4?
3.
Or 3.
Yes. We found that kids with level 3 autism, they still acknowledge, oh, the timer's going off, and that means I should go get mom, but they, a lot of the time, don't really struggle with the same things kids with level 1 and level 2 do. But children that need a routine, need a schedule, this is designed to help them.
So walk me through level 1, and then walk me through level 2, and then level 3, just the basics, kind of like a mini classroom experience of it.
Yeah, so level 1 is the least severe diagnosis. I'm not an expert on the 3 different levels, but level 1 and level 2, they're basically normal kids, right? But there are a few things that they struggle with, such as this scheduling. There's this thing called echolalia where they repeat back what they hear. They just keep repeating it back. There's a few things like
they'll talk to themselves after?
Yeah. So like if mom says something, we've had a lot of kids that if their mom says something and the kid finds it funny, they'll repeat it 100 times a day, right? They'll just keep saying it back and back and back.
And that would be level 1 or level 2?
So that's level 1 or level 2.
Interesting.
Level 2, you're getting more into they need a schedule, they need a routine. If there's a meltdown because of something has changed, it'll like throw the rest of the day out of whack. But they're still able to understand time, understand after this I do this, after this I do this. So they're still able to use this kind of schedule and priming to really flow through their day. Once you're into level 3 on the spectrum, from the kids that we've worked with, a lot of them are nonverbal. A lot of them don't really grasp the concept of time. So from the kids that we've worked with, that we found the device to be less effective.
So level 3 is really is more extreme to the point where it's mentally impaired to the point to where they're not picking up on the cues from SORI or other aspects.
From what we've seen from the kids that we've worked with, yeah.
Okay.
So we've worked with maybe 70 kids throughout the whole process, just interviewing their parents, meeting with them. So I don't know everything, but
Sure.
I know enough about it that I am working on this, and from the tests we've run, it looks like it works. So.
What percentage of kids are level 1, level 2, roughly?
So it's the majority of kids are level 1 and level 2. I think it's something like 75%.
Oh, vast majority.
Yeah. So within the autism spectrum, every kid is different, but most of them are within this level 1, level 2. So most of them do need something like this to help them move throughout the day, especially if they have trouble with these task transitions.
And your background is mechanical engineering?
Electrical engineering.
Electrical engineering. What made you want to be an electrical engineer?
Yeah, so ever since middle school, I've done engineering. So on my 7th grade robotics team, we won I think it's called Best Robotics. Our middle school, we got first place in Colorado. That was kind of my first exposure to more formal robotics and engineering. Then I did it again in 8th grade. Then in high school, all 4 years of high school, I was taking engineering classes. I was part of the NASA Hunch program, which is NASA working with high schoolers to solve real problems on the ISS. So I've had a lot of exposure to engineering throughout all my life. I've always been interested in building and making. So when I was applying for schools, for university, at BYU, Idaho, where I went before my mission, they require you declare your major in your application. So I figured I would do engineering. I just declared electrical engineering, thinking that if I didn't like it, I would switch. After 2 years, when I went on my mission and I came back and I transferred to BYU, I decided I would keep going with electrical engineering. I enjoyed it enough. So that's kind of how I've gotten to this point. Is I've been doing engineering for years. I've always been interested by it. I didn't know if I wanted to be an electrical engineer per se, but that's why I've really enjoyed this opportunity through the Crocker Innovation Fellowship, through working with these parents to create a device that solves a real problem.
Okay. So are you still going to BYU right now?
Yep. So I graduate in April.
And then you'll have a master, or not, bachelor's?
Bachelor's, yeah.
Okay. And so as you pursue this, are you getting funding? Is this all self-funded? Like, how are you making this happen? I can't imagine it's cheap undergoing creating something at this level.
Each unit is about $60.
A lot less than I thought.
So they're not crazy expensive, but also, we're up in the scale of making 40 of them right now. So making 40 at a time.
How are they being made?
We have a 3D printer. And
awesome.
then I assemble them.
Oh, do you really?
So I used to have to hand sew all of the, like the case in. I used to sew this in, but now we've gotten to the point where it's kind of a press fit. So I don't have to sew them anymore. The mechanical engineer on my team, McKenna, she figured that out. So thank you, McKenna.
So the same team that you had when you won? Did you win the competition?
So it wasn't a competition; it was the fellowship. So we've been the same team throughout the whole fellowship, throughout the whole year. And now that the fellowship has ended, we've decided to move forward with this. So now we're entering competitions and doing things like this podcast just to.
No, I love that. So how cool is that? So you get to work with the same crew,
mm-hmm.
and you have almost like your little special teams of creating and engineering and innovating.
Mm-hmm.
And how how is everyone else? I mean, are they all on board? Is it the original? It's 6, right?
So yeah, we added one more person halfway through last year, but since then it's
And what do they do?
original 7. He was another entrepreneurial management.
Okay.
So his team in the fellowship, they decided they weren't going to be moving forward halfway through the year, but he still wanted to participate in the program, so we added him to our team later.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So have you gotten any funding yet, or are you looking for it?
Yes. So part of the fellowship is they fund the testing that you do. So all the prototypes that we've made up until January, they funded. The man that gives all the money to the fellowship, his name's Gary Crocker. He and his wife, Gary and Ann Crocker, they fund all of this themselves. And they don't keep any of the intellectual property. They don't keep any of it. So everything we developed under the fellowship, once we have formed a company, we get it. They just are funding
good
this.
People, really.
Yeah. So they just want to create innovation or encourage innovation that solves problems that.
And what is the efficacy rate of this, like success rate?
From all the kids that we've tested that are, like I said, on that level 1, level 2 that struggle with these transitions, it's really rewarding to see that like it works almost every time that I've seen.
Wow. That's a big claim. I mean, that's a big deal.
Well, we've only tested it with about 20, 25 kids, so it's not a huge sample size. We're going to expand that.
25 out of 2025 is, you're batting 1,000, right?
Well, and that's what the research shows. So as kids use this priming technique, as they have these countdowns and this visual timer and these visual cues, they're just better at transitioning. And that's a compounding effect. So the study showed it over time, over 25 sessions, how the kids did with transitions with and without this priming. And over time, even when they didn't have it anymore, didn't have the priming, they got better at switching between tasks. So
no kidding.
The research backs it up. We just put it into a device that the kids will have with them so that they can use it on a daily basis.
What did the parents say?
The parents love it. So one of the tests, it was our first kind of long-term trial. Before that point, we'd been doing a lot of 1-hour tests where we give the device to the parent explains it to the kid. They say, okay, in 15 minutes, when this timer comes up, come find me, and then we'll do it again. And at the end of the 15 minutes, it always works, and it's always great. The parents are always kind of shocked. But this long-term trial, it was supposed to be for 2 weeks. We give them one of the prototypes. At the end of the 2 weeks, I think it ended up being about a month. One of our teammates, she was out of town when the 2 weeks was up, so we just pushed the date back a little bit. We're like, all right, we'll get a little longer test. At the end of the month, we went back to pick it up, and the mom was like, you're not going to take it, are you? You're not going to, like, can we keep it? And so... how
did you feel when you heard that?
Well, I was like, okay, first of all, no, we're not going to take it from you. If you're using it and it works, of course we're not going to take it from you. But it was very rewarding to see that I had helped create something that was so effective, so useful that she didn't want to give it up.
How did the whole... I'm trying to picture what the whole team was like. I mean, that's like a gold medal celebration.
We were all so excited. It was a great test. So after that first long-term test, that's when we started really digging deep, trying to build more prototypes, trying to get more testing, collect more data, and that happened in last October. So since then, we've really been just all like foot on the gas and going.
So is there anybody else creating something like this out there right now?
So part of the reason I think the response has been so exciting, so big, whenever we take this to a trade show, whenever we show this off to a parent, is because there isn't really anything like this out there right now. So we're kind of the first to do this kind of device, and that is exciting. It's also kind of, okay, how do we protect what we're doing? How
do you have patents on it yet?
We're getting ready to file a provisional patent on the device. So once we have more funding, we'll talk to an actual patent lawyer, get all that taken care of. But just there isn't anything putting this priming technique that is proven, that's had research done on it, putting it into a comfort item for these kids. So
you've got to get that patent. You've got to find a way to get funding. Have you got numbers on what that's going to cost you guys?
So I've talked to, he's a retired patent lawyer, and it's about $20,000 is what I hear to file and hold on to a patent. But patents are only good if you're willing to sue someone that infringes on it. So we'd need a lot more money in order to enforce
really
the
protect
patent.
it. The second you come up with something, everybody's going to knock it off, which drives me crazy a bit, right? Because it's your idea, and you did it with an altruistic desire to help others.
So really, the strategy at this point is just being first to market. So doing another big run of tests, making sure it works, fixing everything, and then with the data, looking for investors to get funding to really start manufacturing the device.
Yeah, let's talk after this. Myself, but I maybe know some other investors that, and especially in the tech world in Utah, people love tech.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter. Have you talked to your professors? Have you talked to others?
Yeah. So one of the programs we're in at BYU, we pitched to a board of investors, and
have you done this yet?
We're doing it Wednesday, so tomorrow. So that's exciting.
Very exciting.
Yep.
That's a big day for you. I mean, how fun would it be to do this all the time?
Yeah.
And then just hone it in and perfect the craft. So let's do this. Let's jump into. So if it's super successful, people love it to the point to where parents don't want you to take it back. How does it work?
Okay, so what we found is that
you programmed all this, and
so we made an app. We programmed the device. So how it works is on the app, parents will create an event. Let's say lunch. So I don't know if you can see that on my phone. So you put the lunch in, you put the time, you choose which device you want to send it to, because some of these parents have multiple kids with autism. So if they have multiple devices, you can select which device you want to send the event to. Then when you send it to the device, it appears on the screen with a countdown timer. So right now we're having lunch. There's a timer arc going around the screen. Some of these kids don't grasp numbers, so having a visual representation for time and showing that getting smaller, that has the same effect of giving the 5-minute, 2-minute, 1 minute. Now, 15 minutes before lunch is over, a beep will go off, 10 minutes a beep will go off, 5 minutes a beep will go off, and then at the end of lunch, you'll get a longer beep to signal, lunch is up. Now we need to switch on to the next thing.
So basically what happens, and you're doing it this way because what happens is they have sensory overload. I'm doing this thing, I'm hyper-focused on this thing, boom, sudden change, it's too much.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
overwhelming. So this is why the timer, they see it, they're preparing mentally, emotionally, then the sound that goes off kind of preps their mind gently, a little more, and then by the end it's like, hey, it's time.
Yep, exactly.
So it's like, hey, kiddo, I need you to do this. Hey, get ready.
Yep.
Okay, now it's time to go clean your room.
And so instead of the parents needing to do that, the stuffed animal takes care of it.
Because the parent can't, to be that level. I mean, obviously the parent can say, hey, go clean your room. And a lot of kids will just be like, let me finish this song, or let me finish this page in my book. And you're like, okay, after. And that child would go do it after, typically.
Yeah.
Well, typically. And then with this is the reminder, but it's not like a child with autism, they need 3, 4, 5 reminders.
Yeah.
Okay. That's powerful. I mean, I could see how that could change a lot of parents' lives.
Yeah. So.
And the kids.
That's why the response has been so great, because it's, it works, right? We wanted to create something functional. We want to create something that improves the lives of these parents and these children. And this is what we've found after all of the iterations and the prototypes we've made. This is what we've found that really does achieve that goal.
I love it. So what are you, out of everything that you're doing right now with SORI, what are you most concerned about? I would imagine it's some knocking it off, right?
Mhm.
Copying what you're doing? Or is there something else?
So that's a concern. The space is so big and underserved, really, I don't think that will be that big of an issue.
Okay.
As we're getting better at diagnosing or diagnosing these kids with autism and being able to support them and help them, there are so many kids in the world, they all need support. So
Sure.
I don't think
Millions and
even
millions.
in a couple years, if someone comes and rips it off, I still think there's a big enough pie for everyone.
Sure.
Our big concern right now is just having 7 people on a team that are all founders is kind of a difficult process.
Yeah.
All coming to agree on how we're going to operate as a company, what the vision for the company will be.
Well,
That's
and
been a
wait
little
till you get those
difficult,
investor fellows involved, man. Those
Yeah.
guys are sharks.
So
They gobble up. They're like, well, it's a big risk. I want 99.9%
Yeah.
of everything that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll pay you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
When I invest, for me, I try to get as close to partnership on everything because I feel like they got to have a vested interest in it,
mm-hmm.
But you guys are at that. Just so hold out and just stay strong, right? The more, do you want some advice on?
Sure.
Yeah. So what I would do is I would capture, you need to work on social media like no tomorrow. I would take that, I would put it in the hands of people. I would show them taking it, get them to accept that as, so basically every item that you give them and say, hey, this is a gift, but this is what we ask of you, is to allow us to record you taking it before, allow us to interview you and your child after, maybe take a few videos showing the experiences of how the toy works and showing the world that you guys came up with this. Because this is your passion, you're all working on it together, and now they'll see in real time that you, right, James Spencer is one of the founders, is the child is holding SORI, and show them the joy that the parent feels, right? Show that emotion, show them being more happy, having more peace, and just put so much of that out there, right, that people equate SORI with you and your team.
Yeah.
Because what'll happen, again, when you get with that investor, they're going to try to say on all, we're going to pay you good money if they accept the project, which is, that's hard to do anyway. But if they accept to, give you the funding, they're going to want control. A lot of times they manipulate it and turn it into a monster that you didn't want created.
Yeah.
Right? And then they make it so unaffordable, right? Because first thing I could see those guys doing, so I did an event called FantasyCon back in the day. I had like 55,000 people came out. And the first night was a charity night. And it was super, super special because all these special needs kids who can't see the outside walls or beyond outside the walls of the hospital, they can't go to Disneyland, they can't go to Six Flags or even Lagoon here in Utah because of their physical conditions or their health problems. And so I opened up the convention center and I had fire breathers and jugglers. I built the world's biggest dragon and did all these wonderful things for these kiddos, and it was such a powerful night. I nearly, broke down. It was very emotional because I can't imagine a world where a child doesn't get to see magic before they die. They only get to see the inside walls of a hospital, and then they pass on. No, they deserve to see wonder. They deserve to see magic. No child should be left without those things. And as I started having a conversation with the investor folks, I almost went bankrupt doing this event. And then the next 3 days, were great. At the end, the investor I was with pulled out because when he died, he still didn't know what a hobbit was. So I just picked the wrong guy.
Yeah.
But I had consulted for him and made him a lot of money. And to wrap it up, the investor folks, first thing they want to do is eliminate the charity day. That just costs money. Eliminate this big charity day. And then it was, let's do this, let's raise ticket prices. And I'm like, man, Disney is like $6,000-7,000 for a family to go on a trip. My goal was to bring the magic of Disney to the masses on a budget that the average family can afford. Because you can go back home to your own house.
Yeah.
You have your, right, you don't have to get a hotel. You don't have to get a rental car. You don't have to get flights. Buy food every day. With what you're creating, you have to, again, get it out there and just be patient, right? Because it gets scary. You're getting ready to graduate.
Yeah.
You're on to the next phase of life. And what they'll do is they'll use that against you. And they'll try to destroy the beauty of what your intentions are, right? They'll make it $300 a toy. You want your kid to be happy? It's $300 a toy.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to market a lot more than $60, right? Because you're going to have to figure out what it costs you to make
what
it
it costs to
mass.
make, how to manage the business, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, but just be patient. Like, believe in yourselves, believe in your team. You've already seen the results. You've already seen the joy in the families' lives. Capture that. Put it out there as much as you can and as often as you can, and be the people behind helping all these families and these children. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And what's interesting, if you do that and you really get on that, let's say you don't accept this first round, be willing to walk away. It's super powerful. They want, right, when they look at you and they see that you're desperate or they need you or you desperately need that funding, they have that control.
Yeah.
Make sense? If you're willing to walk away, now if they're fair, take it. But if you're willing to walk away, now they're even more hungry because you're showing them that you believe in what you're doing. And guess what happens when you show these videos and your social media begins to grow and you're connecting with all these autism groups and families and they're having these experiences with your SORI. You see the right? And now when they ask, they're going to ask, can I give you my money? Not you're desperate and you're begging for it.
Yeah.
Make sense? Anyway, I just see it happen all the time with people who create stuff. It almost happened to me. That's why I walked away from FantasyCon. One of the main reasons is I'm not going to create the beating heart of what I created was to bring magic to the people of the world who can't afford it. And I would have had to sacrifice that if I took their money. Just not worth it.
Yeah.
Do you have anything where you're beyond excited about? You're just like, I pinch myself every day thinking about this potential. Like, what is the thing that gets you up? And
so right now, we have partnered with 5 autism therapy clinics in Utah County. They've agreed to take our prototypes, give them to kids that they think would best use it, have them use it for a month, and then we go back and see how it went. And we're hoping to start that in March. We're hoping to make 40 prototypes to get to these clinics in March, so that they can start using them with their kids. And that's just...
Imagine all the data you're going to get.
Yeah, so that's really all my free time is spent fixing all the bugs in the software, coordinating with these clinics, making sure we have some of our legal ducks in a row, just so that we protect ourselves, we protect the clinics with the devices.
What kind of hours are you putting in working on this?
So when I'm not in school, I'm putting in probably 2-3 hours just a day average. When it's a Saturday, I put in more. I've averaged probably 8 hours every Saturday.
It's a bit of an obsession.
Yeah, well, just I want it to take off, and I think it's functional. I think it works. So if someone else isn't going to do it, then I have to do it, kind of thing. So
I love it.
Yeah.
No, I don't really have anything else to add to it. James, I wish you and your team all the best in the world. And when you're meeting with these VCs or these investors, if you want to call me or if there's anything I can do to help, seriously, let me know.
Cool.
And I love to help people negotiate that process where you don't want to give up the soul of what you've created.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, anyway, James, that's SORI, and this is the Higher Road. So thanks for coming out. We'll see you.